Yes. This is a freaking delight. This is a chilled sake. And I have to say, I feel like when a lot of people think about sake, and by people I mean probably Americans, I don't know, maybe other people too, but you think of hot sake, but I have to say, I enjoy a cold sake, a very chilled sake. I actually discovered that because there used to be this fabulous Japanese restaurant here in Harlem and it's gone now. I'm so sad. That's what introduced me to chilled sake. I would go there and I'm sorry, my mouth just spurted with saliva because I would go there and I would get this pork belly noodle bowl. Where the hell did this restaurant go? I miss it so much. But anyway, I would go and get the bowl and then I would get a chilled glass of sake. There's something like really, I don't know, like buttery or nutty about this. It's good. I haven't even told you what this is. Wow, I'm gonna butcher this. This is a Kiku Sui Funaguchi Namagenchu Japanese sake, original gold. Okay. Well, it's freaking delicious. It says, oh, look at it. There's like things you can learn about on the can. Funaguchi is an unpasteurized Nama type of sake. Nama sake is very sensitive to light, but this specially designed can protects the sake by cutting out the light. Also, the sake is filled all the way to the top to avoid oxidation, ensuring the flavor's freshness. Oh, and the other thing I love about it is that it's strong. Guys, can you believe that it is already May 1st? What is life? So this is an April favorites video and it is in partnership with Ana Luisa Jewelry. And if you do not know, I love Ana Luisa. So I've been working with Ana Luisa for a few years now and they're just such a joy. And you know, you can't say that about every company. You just can't. The thing I love about Ana Luisa, well, there are several things. One is that their designs are just totally up my alley and there really is something for everyone. You can get funky with it. You can get more modern with it. You can get a little bit more chic and underplayed and sophisticated, whatever. There's something for everyone. And they're good for the earth. They use all recycled metals in all of their jewelry. And I have had several of these pieces, like I said, for several years. They have really stood the test of time. They still look beautiful. And Ana Luisa right now is currently having a Mother's Day sale, which is pretty banging because it's buy one, get one 40% off, which is kind of bananas. If you don't know what to get your mom for Mother's Day, and let's be honest, most of us don't, okay? We're scrambling. We're like, you know, for me, I feel like my mom has great style. It's like she kind of has everything she needs and wants, but you can't go wrong with a gorgeous piece of jewelry. So I'm going to show you some pieces that Ana Luisa has sent me that I think are perfect for Mother's Day, and I'm already wearing some of them. First of which is my absolute number one favorite necklace that Ana Luisa makes. It is the Leo Bold Long Chain. So I have two of these on because that's how much I love these. They sent me one and I was like, I'm obsessed with that. I want to layer that. I'm getting another one. So I've worn these many times in other videos and you can just see how beautifully it picks up the light. It's very shimmery. And I also love that this necklace is flat. So I never have to worry about, you know, necklaces, they like move around a lot, especially if it's like a round chain, but I don't find that that happens as much with this because it lays flat. And I just love the aesthetic of this. I love the actual chain pattern itself. I think it's really unique. And word to the wise, these are actually the same necklace. The reason this one is longer is because I got an extender, which you can get through the Ana Luisa website. It looks like this is on its way out from Ana Luisa, and I feel like you need it. You need it. Your mom needs it. I love this. Maybe I need to get another one. I didn't realize that, you know, it wasn't going to be around, but the great news about that is that currently it's 50% off. So this isn't a part of the buy one, get one 40% off deal, but it doesn't even matter because it's half off. So normally it's $85. Right now it's $42.50. And I just want to let you know that there are so many other fabulous chain styles. So if you don't get in on the Leo Bold Long style, they have so many others that are beautiful as well. Moving on to what is currently on my lobes right now. This is the Mini Abbey. They're so simple, but they're so different. Let me show you. I've never seen anything like this. Look at how unique this is. So, you know, it looks like a gold ball, obviously, and it's just so shiny. I love it. But look at how it hugs your ear. Isn't that cool? I love a Huggie. I really do. And I just think, I mean, whose mom wouldn't love that? Also, I feel like if you, yourself, or your mom has multiple piercings like I have, this fits perfectly, like with the rest of my jewelry, which is very important. So that's the Mini Abbey. It is $49 and it is a part of that buy one, get one 40% off sale. Okay, so we're switching out the earrings and I'm going to show you my all-time favorite earrings from Ana Luisa. These gorgeous babies are the Michelle earrings, and I just can't get away from these. They just always are a showstopper. They're so lightweight. They catch the light so gorgeously. It's like they're enough to be interesting, but they don't necessarily like steal the show. You know what I mean? I just think they're beautiful. And I actually was watching a State of Cate video recently, and she had these on, and I was like, damn, those are good. And it just made me, you know, break them back out again because, oh, they just make my eyes pop out of my head. I think they're so beautiful. They're $75, but again, they are a part of that buy one, get one 40% off sale. I'm reading a review on here that says these are heavy, and they are not, like, at all. I have very, very small lobes, like they're tiny. I cannot abide any sort of weight in terms of earrings. I can barely even feel these, so that person's crazy. And this ring is also Ana Luisa. It is discontinued, but they do have a beautiful onyx ring on their website currently, so that's kind of similar in style, so you could check that out. I really love these pieces, and I think everything I talked about here today really suits Mother's Day. I mean, I know I don't know your mom personally, but I think these are beautiful classic pieces that would work for so many people. So definitely check out that Ana Luisa sale. Everything is going to be linked down below in the description box. Happy shopping and happy Mother's Day. Okay, so now it is time to get into the favorites. So I just put out a trying new makeup that I love video. Some of those products are going to be in here because I couldn't really escape them, but I did try to not be too repetitive here. So I'm going to link that video down below as well, because you can actually see the application of some freaking gorgeous product. One of those products that I am bringing back for the favorites video to mention because it is that good. It is the Kosas Revealer Skin Improving Foundation Broad Spectrum SPF 25. This is what I have on my face today, and I just have to say this foundation is the shit. I did not use the Fenty Body Sauce today because I actually wanted you to see what the foundation looked like just on my skin without kind of changing the shade of my neck or my décolleté. You can see it's a really, really nice match for me. I have cool toned skin, and a lot of people talked about how this runs a little bit more yellow, which might be true, but honestly, you can see how it looks on me. I think it looks fantastic. So if you're a cool tone person and you're like, I don't know if I can try that, I think you can. It worked for me at least. This is just one of those foundations that's going in my most loved top foundation category, along with the Chantecaille Future Skin, along with the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin. It really is that like your skin but better foundation, which of course is my favorite kind of foundation because I want my foundation to look just like a better version of my skin. I'm going to be very specific because both the last two times I've used this, I have used a pump and like a fourth or a third. So like not much, and I was able to cover my entire face with a very sheer layer of foundation. This also has a lot of skincare powered ingredients like hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, peptides, squalane, provitamin B5, arnica, caffeine, and I am shade 120. And as always, I'm going to be linking everything I have on my face as well as everything I talk about today down below in my description box. Okay, moving on to a new concealer that I am dying for. This is the new Dior Backstage Concealer. I love everything about this. This is a concealer that I actually picked up at the Sephora sale because of Michelle Wong. Got a shade that was too light. I returned it, got this shade, killed it with the shade match and everything else about it. Like, I love the applicator. I feel it is so satisfying to use this. You're literally like painting it lightly onto your skin. It goes on so creamy. It is a radiant foundation and it is full coverage, or excuse me, a radiant concealer, and it is full coverage. So you can build it up to full coverage, but just like, you know, most other things that I love, you can also sheer it out, which is exactly how I wear it. I have it under my eyes today. I also have it like around my nose. I also really love the tube on this. I just feel it's really lightweight. This would be great to travel with. Yeah, I'm just really into this. I'm really impressed with it. Like I said, when I found my perfect shade match, I was like, this is amazing. So moving on to a powder that is so good, I'm angry. This is the Say Air Set Radiant Loose Setting Powder. This was sent to me by Say. This is also what I have on my face today. This is a loose setting powder, which, you know, I have to say, I generally prefer a pressed powder. It's just easier. It's not as messy, but you know what? I don't really care. This formula is so beautiful that I'll allow it. I went in with this on most of my face. I did leave this whole cheek area pretty powderless because I want my cheeks to be nice and dewy and plump and radiant. I don't want any sort of like matte look to them. But this is such a light powder. If you're a person who doesn't like powder, this is your jam. I have this in the shade Translucent. It does come in 3 different shades. I really like this, especially for my forehead area, because I just get, well, you can't really see it right now because I have bangs, but you know, I have some wrinkles on my forehead. They're expression lines. And, you know, I don't like to draw attention to those because if I powder too much, I feel like you notice them more. You know what I mean? So I like something really, really light on my forehead. So this is perfect for that. It's really just perfect for everything though. I just love this powder. So the next product I want to talk about is an eyeshadow. These are eyeshadow singles, and they are from, like, I think this is the #1 brand for eyeshadow singles. Can you guess what it is? Yeah, you're right. It's MAC. I was turned back onto MAC from 2 different videos. I saw State of Cate do a MAC video, and I saw Khaki Reviews Beauty do a MAC video recently, and I was like, all right, I'm sold. I've got to get back into MAC because as an elder millennial, you have to know that everything I owned was MAC, especially in college. They have so much amazing looking stuff that I'm like, I'm going to dig back in. And this is one of the products I bought. These are the eyeshadow singles, but I had no idea these existed. These are the Powder Kiss Soft Matte eyeshadows. I am such a fan of the Powder Kiss lipsticks. They're one of my favorite lipstick formulas. So this is basically like the eyeshadow version of that. And I believe they have some of the colors from the lipsticks, they have transferred them to these eyeshadows. I have both of these on my eyes today. And, you know, this is just the shade of my lid, which is exactly why I got it. Because most days, you know, if I'm not filming, or even if I am filming, I just want to have like a very just clean sort of naked looking eye. This obviously for my skin tone is perfect for that. It just kind of evens everything out. And yeah, it makes everything look nice and clean. And then I went over that with this shade right here, which is called My Tweety. You can see it's just like the perfect peachy eyeshadow. It's not too much. If something, you know, gets too peachy, too orange, it's like a little too far in that direction for me. This is a Goldilocks shade. And the thing I love about these is that they just go on so beautifully. I mean, MAC eyeshadows always have. It's that Powder Kiss formula. So it really goes on in this sort of like sort of blurred watercolor way. I'm definitely probably gonna pick up more of these because they were everything I wanted them to be, honestly. I also love that the packaging is matte as well. I just find that highly satisfying. So I'm moving on to a product that I've kind of gone back and forth about, and it is these Rare Beauty liquid blushes. Now, I think I have every single shade of these actually, and most of them were sent to me by Rare Beauty. Initially, I really liked them. And then because I'm such a cream blush whore and I have way too many liquid and cream blushes, I kind of put them to the side. I know in other videos I've talked about how I think these are just like a little bit harder to work with, and they're very, very pigmented, and you have to work just a little bit quicker with these, which is true. But I actually saw Risa Does Makeup talking about this particular shade, which is her favorite. It's called Hope. And that is what I'm wearing on my cheeks today. That's all I have on my cheeks. It really is such a beautiful shade. Risa was right. It is a nude mauve. And you know, like I said, a little bit goes a long way, but I just want to show you what the shade looks like on its own. I feel like it's a very approachable shade. It's sort of, I know it says a nude mauve, but maybe things just pull peachy on my skin. That might be what it is too. But I do feel like there's a little bit of peachiness to this. And so you can blend this out with your fingers. I actually blended this out with a brush today, and that worked beautifully as well. You just, like I said, you kind of have to work a little bit quickly. You can't just like let it set because it'll kind of dry down. This shade is a little bit more muted than some of the others. Like here, I'll show you. This shade right here is called Encourage. So you can see this is a little bit more approachable, and I think that's also what makes it easier to work with because it's not quite as pigmented. And I love the finish on this. It does have a radiant finish. It does set down pretty well. Like, I don't know, there's no wetness or tackiness to my cheeks whatsoever. And you can see, well, you're also gonna pick up on my highlighter as well, but even before I applied my highlighter, this was just so beautiful and dewy looking. And it's actually what made me not want to like powder my cheeks, because I was like, I want that to remain that way. Okay, next product I want to talk about are these Damn Surratt lip slicks. These are so fabulous. I am wearing this with a lip liner right now, and I'll show you the shade. I am wearing the shade Fille Soie, which is like a beautiful, almost kind of frosted. I hesitate to say frosted because I feel like that just doesn't, no one wants a frosted situation much anymore. But it's this beautiful, I think they described it as like a sugary light pink on the website. So I have this shade over the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner, and I just think it is such a beautiful, flattering nude. That's Fille Soie, and this right here is heaven. This is what I wore in my last video. I can't tell you how many of you guys were like, oh my God, that shade, I need it. And I know that some places have been super low in stock on this, so I'll try to find it and link it down below. But I just think this on its own, like this didn't even really need a lip liner for me, although a lip liner always makes your lips look a little more pouty. This didn't need a lip liner for me because it's just that gorgeous on its own. This is like my current favorite lip product. So that would be a cross between a lipstick, a lip balm, and a lip gloss. So comfortable, so plushious, so beautiful. And just so you know, and I said this in my most recent video as well, but if you're going to compare these to other products like it, like the M Cosmetics lip cushions, like the, I just picked up the Makeup by Mario lippies that are very similar to this. Those are a little bit softer. So these are a little bit more firm, not that much more, but just a little bit. The last makeup product I'm going to mention is a gloss that I've had for quite some time. I have it in 2 different shades, and you can see how well loved this is because I'm getting down to the bottom. This is the Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss. I do have a little bit of this on just over the lip products I told you about. This will give you the most plushiest damn lips you've ever had. I like to wear this over something else. Like, I don't like to wear this alone because it is a little bit sticky / tacky. That might not bother some people, and I'm not sensitive to much when it comes to makeup, but I don't love a sticky, tacky feeling, and this is just ever so slightly like that. So if I wear this over, you know, the Surratt lip slicks or anything really comfortable, I'm good to go. And I just feel like it amps up my lips and gives me, yeah, the most plumped version of my lips I can get. So I have this in 2 different shades. I have it in Rosy Outlook, which is a super sheer baby pink. It's like really, really close to clear with just a little bit of pink in it. And I also have, I think it's called Daisy Pink, which is a really beautiful pop of pink. But even that shade, once you put it on your lips, it just looks like your lips, but better. Just, these are so gorgeous. Moving on to some brushes. Now, I quickly just want to mention BK Beauty brushes. This is nothing new, all right? But they are having a Mother's Day sale, and it's pretty amazing. It's 20 to 30% off. And I don't always mention the brushes I use in my videos, but I very often get questions about them. So I really should start linking them. Just know that my favorite brushes of all time are BK Beauty brushes. And if I'm using a brush, it's most likely BK Beauty. The face brushes, the eye brushes, they're all incredible. I think these face brushes are truly next level. I use them every single day. I'm just gonna point out a couple. This is the 107 brush. I use this to apply blush all the time. This is actually the travel version of it, so the handle is a little bit shorter. But yeah, I just feel like this places my blush just so beautifully. I can really get in there and be specific, and it just blends everything out like a dream. And you can use these with cream and powder products. The 101 brush is fabulous. This is, I think, their best-selling brush. It is a contoured foundation brush, but you can also use this to blend in any cream product, really. You can use it to blend in cream blush or cream bronzer. It's fantastic for that as well. And then the two big face powder brushes, I use these equally. It just depends on like what look I'm going for and what products I'm using. This is the 102 brush. And this is what I call the bunny on the face brush because it's so soft and it's so big and it's just it's so satisfying to use. And it's also a great way to just like dust away any product that you don't want. And then you have your 105, which is a large kabuki brush, which if I want a little bit more coverage with my powder, this dense brush is gonna give you that. And I can't not mention this damn Angie Hot and Flashy A506 concealer brush. This is magical. I applied my under eye powder with this. And it's just, I mean, it literally looked like I was erasing my under eye. This is such a great tool. It's also great to like, just get into smaller areas, like around your nose. Yeah, I just love BK Beauty brushes. You really can't go wrong with any of them. I know I'm just like quickly breezing through this, but check out that sale. Check out that sale if you are in the market for some beautiful new brushes that are basically gonna give you just a flawless makeup application. And I feel like, you know, you can have the best makeup in the world, but if you don't have good tools and you don't know how to apply it, it really doesn't matter. So highly recommend checking that out. Okay, so now we're moving on to skincare, and I really have picked up some insanely amazing skincare recently. I feel like I had a really good skincare regimen and I've just like upped the ante. This was a purchase after I tried a sample, and then I saw another influencer, Dev's Day, on Instagram talk about how this is one of her favorite products available at Sephora. This is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow PHA and BHA Pore Tight Toner. It is hydrating and pore tightening. And can I just tell you, pore refining. Can I just tell you that that's correct? Because when I use this, and I use it morning and night, my skin just looks tight, like in a good way, not like tight and dry, like hydrated and tight. So what I will do is I will wash my face, and this will be the first product I put on. I will just splash some on my hand and literally pat it into my face, my neck, and my chest. Obviously it smells like watermelon, but to me this smells like my mouth just like bursts with saliva smelling it. It smells like a really well-made spicy margarita. I don't know what the spice, there's a little bit of a kick to it, but I'm not talking about that sweet shit, okay? I'm not talking about the margaritas that make you ill. I am talking about like you are in Puerto Vallarta and you are just like mouth is watering again, having like just the most perfect margarita by the ocean. That's what this smells like to me. I just got to chill down my spine. Obviously, I need a margarita. So the great thing about this is that, yes, it has exfoliating factors, obviously the PHA and the BHA, but it also has hydrating factors like the hyaluronic acid. So I never feel like my skin is stripped. And then I just go in with my skincare regimen on top of it, my super hydrating skincare regimen. So highly recommend picking this up. Also, this might last me the rest of my life. Okay, so moving on to a sunscreen. This is going to be my go-to sunscreen this summer. I love this. I've been using this When I'm not wearing makeup, I've been using it underneath my makeup. It actually is a fantastic primer. This is the Supergoop Every Single Face Watery Lotion SPF 50. It says clean chemical sunscreen actives, dermatologist tested, non-irritating, reef safe, no synthetic fragrance, and vegan. I also want to point out, I know this is repetitive, but I pointed this out in another video and I've got to educate the public, okay? This brand, Supergoop, is not Goop, okay? This is not Gwyneth Paltrow's brand. This is completely separate. They are not connected at all. I had several people tell me that they literally have avoided buying this brand because they just aren't into Gwyneth Paltrow and her vibe, and they just like didn't want to support the brand. So I just really want to take a second to let you know, not the same brand as Goop, okay? Supergoop, Goop, different brands. Okay, I just really don't want people missing out on Supergoop because they just don't know that it's not Goop. I know Supergoop makes a lot of SPFs, so I wanted to tell you the difference between this and the Unseen sunscreen because at first glance, they do seem like the same product, but they're actually not. They're very different consistencies. So the Unseen sunscreen is more velvety. It's more of like sort of like velvety silicone feeling formula, whereas this is a watery lotion. Supergoop does say that the Unseen sunscreen is meant more specifically to be a grippy makeup primer, whereas this is not. However, I will tell you, as I said, I have used this as a makeup primer and I think it's fantastic. So let that be known. This to me is very, very similar to the Glossier Invisible Shield, which has been my go-to face sunscreen for a few years, but I'm definitely going to be switching to this full time because this is 50 SPF and this is 35. And like, we want the most SPF we can get, right? It's our face. This is the Tatcha Indigo Overnight Repair. This is another product I purchased because of State of Cate and Dev's Day. This is one of the creamiest, juiciest moisturizers I have ever used. So this is a serum in cream, and this is going to visibly calm irritation and it is going to strengthen your skin's barrier. That's why this is so important to me, and that's why I purchased this, because I loved my Tatcha the Dewy Skin Cream. Obsessed, and I wanted to try something new. I heard incredible things about this. This is like my ultimate last step in my skincare regimen. I do a lot of skincare. I try to balance out my exfoliation. I try to not over exfoliate, but occasionally I overdo it. A product like this is going to help with that. So that wraps up my April favorites. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Also, thank you to Ana Luisa for partnering with me on this video. Again, please go and check out their Mother's Day sale. It's buy one, get one 40% off. I'm going to cheers a product, okay? I haven't done that in a long time. I've been slacking on cheersing products because honestly, so many of my products are next level that I often cannot choose, but I'm gonna do it today, okay? It's Sophie's choice. We're making the hard decisions. I'm gonna choose one makeup product and one skincare product because I can't narrow it down that much. I did it. I feel really proud of myself. So the makeup product that I'm choosing to cheers is the Dior Backstage Concealer. Good job. It's rare that I find a concealer that I'm just crazy for. This is going at the top with like the Kosas Revealer Concealer, as well as the Pat McGrath. And then for skincare, it's going to have to be this baby because this feels a little bit more tried and true to me, and it is a product that I can definitely see results like immediately when I use it. So Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow PHA and BHA Pore Tight Toner. Good job. If you are enjoying my content, please go ahead and click that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up. You guys are the best. Please stay safe out there and cheers till next time. Bye.